Hello there, and welcome to a special Preakness edition of That Handicapping Show, sponsored by TVG. I'm Jason Shandler, along with Evan Hammonds. As you can see, we're here from beautiful Pimlico Racecourse, just 2 days before Preakness 137. Beautiful sunny day here, Evan.
Great day here at the track. We just saw a couple of Preakness horses go by.
So I'll have another go by, and expecting beautiful weather here all weekend. They drew a field of 11 for the Preakness yesterday. 6 horses returned from the Kentucky Derby, including 4 of the first 5 finishers. Obviously, I'll have another, the winner's back, and Bodemeister. And Bodemeister was installed as the 8-5 morning line favorite. I'll have another 5-2 second choice. A lot of people are saying the race is shaping up as a runaround, just like the Derby. Bodemeister going around, and I'll have another chasing him. What do you think?
Well, I mean, that's the way it kind of looks on paper, and that's the way it kind of looks to me. I mean, those were clearly the two best horses in the Derby 2 weeks ago, especially if you go back and look at the race. This is 100 yards shorter.
Right.
You know, if you stop the race, Derby at the 16th pole, those two guys were pretty far ahead of the pack.
Yeah, and what makes it, I guess a little less intriguing is that there's not a lot of early speed like there was in the Derby. So everybody thinking Bodemeister's going to get that easy lead. If there was, we were trying to, handicap it. If there's a horse who's going to press him, Doug O'Neill said it's going to be I'll have another, but we were thinking maybe Creative Cause might show a little bit more speed in this race.
Yeah, I mean, I think Doug O'Neill might be blowing a little pregame smoke there. I'm not really sure, but Creative Cause could be one. I mean, he tracked Bodemeister pretty carefully back in California.
Right, he does have some early speed,
and there's some others in here that have shown speed from time to time, but you look at the fractions and they're not Bodie-esque.
Right. All right, so Evan, you nailed the Derby with I'll Have Another. You tried to tell me all month that was the winner. I didn't listen to you. You scored big, and I guess you're going back to the well, right?
Well, it's hard to go against the Derby winner when you nail a 15-1 shot. But I like the way that he's looked. I mean, I haven't really seen him visually until today, but we've seen him online. We've seen photos. You've seen everything Doug O'Neill has said. The horse seems to be holding his form really well. And as Bob Baffert said, if you win the Derby, you should win the Preakness based on holding your form. So, to me, he's the guy. And again, it's very chalky, but Bodemeister looks to me it's his race to lose.
Yeah, this might be, if it comes in the way that we're talking about, it might be one of the shortest price trifectas in recent Preakness history, because I like Bodie on top. I'll have another underneath, and I think we both went to Day Well, who actually ran a really good race in the Derby. He's an improving horse. He was 7 or 8 wide, and we can only assume that he's going to take another step forward.
Yeah, and I think if you go back and watch the Derby from the head of the lane to the finish, the horse moving the best went the Day Well.
Yeah.
It was very reminiscent to me of several years ago. Birdstone kind of did the same thing. I mean, he was way back. Made a nice run late. Now, he kind of got buried behind Smarty Jones, but obviously he proved that he was a top horse. Came back and won the Belmont. So
they're the 3 for you, and then you're going to throw a little Creative Cause in there at the end?
Yeah, I think Creative Cause, I wasn't real keen on him at first, but going through the form again and getting here to Pimlico, I'm kind of getting the vibe that he's going to run another big one.
Again, getting back to Bodie, for me, he just has the most brilliant speed in here. He's not going to face, no matter what anyone says, he's not going to face a tough early test from anybody. He's just too fast. Baffert's won 5 of these things. I just think it shapes up for him pace-wise, and underneath, I'll have another. You have to use. Went to Day Well, and I'll throw in Daddy Knows Best, a horse I liked in the Derby that didn't run his race, and I think Asmussen has had enough confidence in him to bring him back, or he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
and he gets Julian Leperoux back, and both of his grade 3 wins were with Julian. I like that angle.
Yeah, and also too going through the PPs, he's one of the only other ones to have run a triple-digit buyer figure.
Yeah.
Where you see a lot of these new shooters, they're intriguing. They're here, but you look at the numbers, they just don't stack up.
Yeah, so I'll use a little Daddy Knows Best and hopefully redeem myself there. But out of you mentioned the new shooters. Anybody at all on here intrigue you at all out of the other 5 horses?
hate to be honest with you, but not really. Tiger Walk a little bit maybe. He's a huge price. He's kind of run mid-pack in that New York series, but he was behind Gemologist and Alpha. I think he's getting blinkers. I think he can move up a little bit. He might be able to get into the mix for the Tri or the Super.
Yeah. For me, if there was a long shot or a horse that is a new shooter getting into the Tri or Super, it would be Cosetti. I mean, Roman talks about how well this horse trains all the time, and if he did what he did in the mornings and the afternoon, he'd be a superstar already. So, and we just saw him. He's a huge, good-looking horse. So for me, if somebody steps way up and comes from the clouds to get a piece, it would be him. But
I can
anyway,
see that.
We're looking at chalk here, but.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're always like trying to beat the chalk, but I think on Saturday it's going to be tough.
Yeah,
tough to go against.
Try to catch the pick threes and the pick fours. That's where maybe your big money will come in.
And speaking of chalk, I like Mama Kimbo too in the Black Eyed Susan. She's the 7-5 morning line favorite.
Well,
so
there you go.
Got to eat it up.
All right, you got to do it. You're entitled to that after picking a 15-1 in the Derby.
Well,
so. Anyway, we wish everybody luck in the Preakness and in the Black Eyed Susan. It's going to be a beautiful weekend here, and we thank Briss for the PPs, and we thank TVG, our sponsor, and we hope you guys have a good weekend. And for me personally, this is my last handicapping show. I'm moving on, and I thank you guys for putting up with me for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you.
Thanks.
Big haul.
For Evan, I'm Jason. Good day and good racing.